Winning.
Pick.
Weekly.
Smith for the win.
Raisi K.
Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome to week 2 of college football full slate on Winning Picks Weekly. As always, my name is John Meleka, joined by Greg Albert running that Winning Picks Weekly account. And as always, join us on the college shows. Chip Murphy at Chip Murphy 7. What up, guys?
What's up, John?
Hell of a week one. Hell of a week one. You want to start off with Duke, Chip? You want to just get that out of the way?
Oh my God. Riley Leonard, Mike Elko. Yeah. Mike Elko ending Dabo Swinney's legacy at Clemson, ending his dynasty at Clemson. I mean, on national TV, Duke. Did you ever think you'd see Duke fans running onto the field, storming the field against Clemson? I never thought I'd see a Duke student section full, much less storming the field at a football game. That was crazy. That touchdown run by Riley Leonard, I think it was like a 40-yard touchdown run. When he had that, I was like, man, this Duke team is different. Like this isn't a Duke team. He's a great coach, Elko. He has something special there. I said, like, the next day I said to my brother, I was like, they need to sign him to like the Kentucky John Calipari lifetime contract. Give that dude whatever the hell he wants to try and make sure he doesn't go to the SEC, like the next time he gets a job available to him. So yeah, he's just done an amazing job, man. And Duke always has pretty good quarterbacks. That's like the one thing that they get is a good quarterback there. But man, that defense, dude, they were saying it like after the game, there's always 11 guys on camera. Like they're so fast to the ball. What he's done is like when you're not a football school and you're like that, Kansas has done it too, because Kansas has always been a basketball school. And Leipold there now, he does a great job. They get like these 2 3-star guys, these diamond in the rough guys, and they recruit them really well. And Duke's got transfers now too. Duke's that safety on Duke, who I can't remember his name right now, but he's the transfer for A&M from A&M that Elko obviously coached when he was there. He was awesome in that game too. They're flying all over the field. Like they're playing good team defense. They're not just individual defenders. And I think that helps when they're not all like 5-star All-Americans. Obviously, you'd love to have like a couple of those guys on the team. If you can get those guys, that'd be awesome. But yeah, they're all like that was their Super Bowl. Like beating Clemson meant everything to them. And it was so cool to see that. Like, and plus, I know, look, everybody hates Duke. I get that. But beating Dabo, beating Dabo, who cares who beats Dabo? Dabo losing was fantastic. And now, look, man, it's been a while since we've seen Clemson be dominant against anyone. Like, so what is Clemson football now? Because
what is the ACC now?
Yeah, they're not kings of the ACC anymore. That's Florida State looks like it. Yeah, your boy Jared Verse is the best defensive player in the country.
Shout out you Albany, baby.
And Jordan Travis is awesome. Yeah, and is on his way to being the Heisman favorite. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not saying Duke's going to do something crazy like win the ACC or something, but they won 9 games last year, and everybody was saying they were going to regress. And I took the over on this team 6.5 wins for a reason. I thought it was crazy that they were that low, being 6.5 wins on a 9 wins coming off a 9-win season. So, I believe they were going to be better than that, and I definitely didn't see this coming. But, yeah, I think they got a long way to go to, keep proving things. But I don't know, man. That was fun as hell to watch is the most important thing. Like, that was the most fun anyone's ever had watching a Duke football game. That was the biggest win in the history of Duke football, I think. Probably.
We got you.
Yeah. Got you. Sorry. Hey, you asked, man. You asked.
Listen.
I thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy about it, John, real quick. Not only were the Duke fans storming the field, the students storming the field, they were down the field with like 4 or 5 minutes left to go. Like they were up that handedly. They were handling Clemson so much that they were like, they knew they were storming the field. 5 minutes left to go. They were waiting to get on the field. it was insane. It wasn't a fluke win. They absolutely dominated from start to finish, both sides of the ball. So shout out to Duke. Great win.
Yeah, I mean,
Clemson
there
didn't
were
have any
other good games.
receivers. Yeah,
There were
it
other
was.
good games. I think.
Sorry.
Oh,
Like,
go
it's just,
ahead.
I was just shocked at the lack of like skill position talent that Clemson had. Like they had Will
Yeah.
Shipley, obviously he's awesome, but I was like, man, like Duke has better receivers than Clemson does. It was just bizarre. Like Clemson had nobody who was going to make a play besides Shipley. It was weird. Like they just don't have guys anymore like they used to.
Yep.
2 years ago, so far away for Dabo and the boys.
Mm-hmm.
All
Florida's
right.
way better.
Other great games. We mentioned Florida State versus LSU, which was the game of the year. The score doesn't really do much of the story because it was a blowout at the end, but it felt like a close game for most of it. But Florida State is who we thought they were. I don't think LSU is as bad as they were that day. We'll see. You guys have quick thoughts on that before we move on, and quick mentions of Colorado, I guess, that we have to talk about them.
Yeah, I mean, Colorado game was incredible. Don't have too many thoughts on Florida State LSU. I mean, I bet the over in that. I thought it was very slow moving at first. They were kind of finding their feet, and then thank God Florida State found their feet because LSU just looked confused and lost, I think, most of the night. Colorado, incredible win, 20 point underdogs, winning outright. I think we all talked about TCU just not really being a school that has the kind of talent to reload and repeat like they did last year. So that was great. And then for me, one last game I want to throw in there, John. I think we have to talk a little bit about UNC South Carolina. I feel like I was the lone UNC guy over here. They still have Drake May. I think Drake May looked okay, but the defense looks much improved. I don't know if just South Carolina is bad or if the UNC defense, they spent some time, they got some guys, they figured it out. I was hoping to get some thoughts on that. We'll talk about UNC, I guess, in week 2 a little bit because I need your guys' thoughts on that. I don't know if it was a fluky thing for UNC or if they're rounded into shape.
I don't think it was fluky for Carolina at all. I think South Carolina, I bought the South Carolina hype big time, the Shane Beamer hype, and maybe it was a little early on that. I think it was the opposite of what happened with Duke last year. Maybe we jumped the gun a little bit on South Carolina. Like, maybe they're not ready yet. Like, I think Spencer Rattler's still pretty good, but, they lost some pretty good players from last season. And I don't think they were quite as good as we thought. They definitely aren't as good as North Carolina. And like you said, North Carolina's defense definitely improved from last year. And yeah, South Carolina, I think we talked about it on the show last week. We're like, man, why is South Carolina underdogs? They were great down the stretch last year. Well, turns out they were underdogs for a reason.
Yeah.
They just weren't that good.
Yep. John, what do you got for week 1? Thoughts on any games in particular?
No, I'd rather get into it when we're talking about the week 2 games because it kind of flows into how we're handicapping games. But I mean, Colorado was incredible. Like you said, there's not really much to go for there. To be honest with you, Oregon, I can't wait for the test. Every week is just they're going to be more tested. USC is just they're not impressive, but I'll give you maybe my key, and I'm going to go into it for week 2 is Dante Moore. Dante Moore, the QB from UCLA, looks really good. I really liked what I saw from UCLA. I'm ready to hop on the bandwagon when like they're playing during the regular season here. I love Dante Moore. He looked really, really good. Like really good. So I don't know what else to say there. I'm excited to watch UCLA a little bit. But that's about it. I want to get into week 2, guys. I am really excited about this full slate. And Greg, you want to start off here. You have a game on Friday, my man. What do you got for us on Friday?
Yeah, I like Kansas -3 against Illinois. I think Kansas is one of those teams that I've been following a little bit here and there. I liked them at some points last year. I think I talked about it in the preview episode we did. Quarterback got hurt midway through the season. I think he's back playing well. Illinois, I just don't know what to expect exactly from them. And -3, I just thought was just a low number. So, over under for this game is
like 50s, right?
Yeah, I think something 58.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some points here, but Kansas at home -3, opened at -2, hasn't moved too much, even though 60% of the money, 60% of the bets are on Kansas. Don't know what I'm getting really from Illinois, but I'm not scared of a lower ranked Big Ten team right now. Give me Kansas.
We're disagreeing already. I got Illinois in that one.
Love it.
I don't know if it was. I had Illinois plus 3.5, but if it's 3, I'll take 3 too.
Sure.
I was just looking at trends all day today, as usual. When Bielema's got Illinois since he's been there, 2021 season, 10 games on the road, 8-2 against the spread on the road, 6-2 against the spread as a road dog. I know Kansas has Jalen Daniels coming back, and it's obviously that's big for them. And Illinois didn't look, struggle to win against Toledo. They won 30-28 last week against Toledo. Toledo is actually really good and probably could give Kansas a game. They're the best team in the MAC. They're really good. So it's actually a good win by Illinois to beat Toledo. I like Illinois in this one. I think their defense is really good. It's better than the number, I think. I don't know. Kansas puts up a lot of points. Obviously, they scored a ton of points last year, but Illinois didn't give up points against anyone. Illinois only gave up 27 against Michigan last year. So I like them. I like their defense. Illinois plus 3.5 or plus 3, whatever.
All right. First game going against each other. I like it. Do we want to go to the Saturday, or Chip, do you have anything else for Friday?
No, that's the only one I got. I think the other game's like something weird. I think that's the only game. Yeah. It's like Indiana, the other game. Who cares? Yeah.
Saturday, noontime. I have to start with my best bet. My first best bet of the day, and that's Utah -7.5 at Baylor, where Baylor might be one of the worst teams in college football, getting smacked by Texas State, and I'll get to Texas State later on in the 3:30. But, how embarrassing for Baylor. And I don't think this is a very nice matchup for them to bounce back. The stingy Utah defense, they did great last week, murdering the Gators, leaving them to 11 points. Their offense, they put up 24 without their starting quarterback. Baylor is about to get smacked. -7.5 might be the easiest line of the entire day.
I'm taking Baylor plus 7.5 because
good. I'm glad you are.
I have no idea why. I looked at it and I'm like, why is this only 7.5? Like, shouldn't Utah be favored by double digits? It makes no sense that this is only
Cam Rising's not there yet.
I know. And isn't that, maybe Utah just their backup played out of his mind, and he won't. What are the chances he plays that good again? I don't know. I can't bring myself to back a backup quarterback 2 weeks in a row. I know Baylor just lost to Texas State, but I don't know. The fact that I know Baylor, I think, opened as the favorite in this one, and then it got bet to 7.5. Obviously, after what happened last week, but I don't know. It would probably be double digits. Preseason, yeah, Baylor.
Really?
Well, before last week, I think Baylor was favored because it was at Baylor. I think that's what I saw.
Yeah, I see it opening at -2, Baylor.
Yeah.
All right.
I got Utah on this
one.
That's
some deep thoughts right there.
So you guys both got Utah.
Yeah, I think it's easy. I think Baylor just might suck. There's a chance.
Absolutely. I think it's a high chance. And I think Utah is actually really good.
I think Utah's really good too. And I have Utah to win the conference, which is why I'm confident taking Baylor here anyway, because even if Utah wins, I win. So
okay, that's fair. What I've been doing is I've been taking first quarter and first half bets, especially in lines like 7.5. So I definitely have Utah and in some first quarter, first half plays.
Utah's
Greg,
crush them. I know you guys are definitely.
Yeah, no, and you're gonna hear it in the group chat,
and you guys are gonna text me when they go up 28-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, 100%. Greg, give me a game in the 12s.
Kansas State -17. I really like them going into the season. I think I'm not sure if I picked them or if I talked about them to win the Big 12. I think they were plus 500 maybe. And yeah, didn't give it out on here, but I have it in a couple parlays. And dude, they just look good last week. They played an inferior team. They beat them by 40 something points. They played Troy this week. Troy might be a step up in competition compared to who they played last week. They also might not be. Minus 17.5. I get that they're on the road. I believe they're on the road. No, they're at home opener. Give me Kansas State all day. 17 points is just not enough.
This is a big game for the conference for Troy, honestly. So
Yeah.
it definitely is better competition, but I have no thoughts on this game.
No, me neither. I didn't look at it. Troy's the favorite, I think, to win that conference.
Yeah.
I think they're really good.
All right, Chip, hit us up with another game.
Technically, this is 11 a.m., but I'm taking Wake minus 10 against Vandy.
All right, are we fading Vandy here, or do you like Wake?
Both, I think. A little bit more fading Vandy, probably, because I think they are terrible. But I also like Wake. I think people are sleeping on Wake a little bit after Hartman leaving. They have a great coach. Clausen is a great coach. He runs a great system there. They run a very slow offense that lulls you to sleep, and it hurts teams. And I think Vandy is just bad. They're always bad. They're always Vandy. They're going to lose every year. And I like Wake, man. I'm just going to, I bet Wake last year. I know they had Hartman last year, but John, you bet Wake too with me. And I don't know. I'm not scared off just because one of the best quarterbacks in the country left. I like the coach. When a coach puts in a system that works, I like betting that.
You know what, Chip? I am also going to tell you today because, Wake killed Elon, so not that impressive last week, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
And what also is very concerning is the line is moving away, where the money is mostly on Vandy, 70%, and the line is dropping. Makes no sense. Sounds good to me. I'll take Wake Forest at home, no problem.
If you're betting Vandy, whatever. Good luck to you.
I'm with you. All right. Looks like it's on me. Man, I can't stay. You mentioned Sam Hartman. I can't stay away. It's Notre Dame. Luckily it's NC State. I don't really find that as much competition. I think that's another line that's really doesn't make that much sense. It did move from 7 to 7.5. So maybe a nice little scare tactic there to get some people off probably is going to work. I love Notre Dame. I think they're going to absolutely kill them. And Sam Hartman is going to keep rolling on in the Sam Heisman Award.
The Sam Heisman.
Yeah, the Sam Heisman. He's gonna be in the top 3, man. Caleb Williams, Sam Hartman. I think right now Bo Nix and Travis are fighting for the 3 spot, and I'm sure everyone from Colorado has something to say about that. So we'll see. We'll see how the next couple of weeks go. But yeah, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm with you on Sam. I'm taking ND minus 7.5. I'm also taking the under on that one.
They had good defense last week.
Yeah, they had a good defense last week. People aren't, considering that because they'd be so bad. But I think the defense is legit. And it's a big number, 50.5. So yep. I don't think we know.
I also feel like week 0 helps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Notre Dame as well. I'm taking that. It makes you a little worried that all 3 of us are on the same pick. But
yeah.
The thing that stood out to me was NC State let up more rushing yards than passing yards last week to UConn. I think that Notre Dame's a much better team overall, obviously, than UConn, where they were only able to win by 10 against UConn. And the running back in Notre Dame I like a lot. So I think he's going to run.
He's so good. Yeah.
Guess where the public is?
I would guess all over Notre Dame.
I mean, they got to be Notre Dame.
35% Notre Dame.
What?
I love Notre Dame. I love Notre Dame right now.
Yeah, that's great.
This is great. All right, Greg, give me another game.
My last noon game is my first best bet of the day. It's Colorado minus 2.5, minus 3. I think I got it at 1.5 on Sunday of last week because I was so emphatic about Colorado, and I just don't like Nebraska. I mean, it's just that simple. I think Colorado. I think 3 is just disrespectful. It might be crazy to say it, but I think that they are head and shoulders. This should be a 10-point game. I think they're head and shoulders above Nebraska. I think they're way better than people thought they were going to be going into the season. They're way better than what I thought they were going to be going to the season. I like them. I mean, we talked about it in the offseason. You guys thought I was crazy for liking the over 6 wins. I think 6 wins is very easy for Colorado this season. Making a bowl game. Double-digit wins, obviously going to be tough in the Pac-12, but I'm all about Colorado right now. You can't tell me anything else.
Yeah, me too. And they're playing Oregon, and after they're going to go 3-0 and then play Oregon. So
yeah,
and they got Oregon and then USC. So we'll see what happens there. After that, it's really smooth sailing. They got UCLA in there. They're going to beat them, and then they got Utah at the end.
I mean, Sanders threw for 100 yards to 3 different guys. He just looks so calm and collected in the pocket. That was my biggest takeaway of the game. Obviously, being able to distribute the ball was nice. Travis Hunter is the best player in football, so let's go. Let's get it wrong.
Football.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, dude, if you play 100 snaps, that
was incredible.
It's insane. I mean, in that weather and that 100-something degrees on the field.
Colorado's guaranteed right now to have 7 wins. It's guaranteed.
There you go.
It's guaranteed. That's with losing every single big game. They're guaranteed to have 7 wins. They're probably gonna have double digits. Honestly, they're definitely gonna make a bowl game. I wouldn't be so. We'll see what happens if there's a mess. Listen, if the Big Ten creates a mess, if the SEC creates a mess, if Notre Dame creates a mess, I'm telling you, Colorado could sneak into the playoffs, man. It can happen.
That's crazy.
They could sneak in. I'm telling you, if LSU just lost. LSU wins. If Bama or Georgia slip up at some point, I'm telling you, man. If people start losing, things could happen. If Ohio State start losing, I just feel like
they didn't look so hot.
They didn't look hot. I don't know if you guys watched any of that Georgia game. There's Brock Bowers and absolutely nobody else at Georgia right now. It's crazy to see.
I am worried about them, though.
Yeah, it was a weird game. But yeah, that's my last noon bet, John.
Anything else for noon?
I'm going to take that. I'm going to take them in the over there, too. I think Nebraska will probably put up some points there, too. They'll get used to the offense. But Colorado's definitely going to put up a lot of points. As far as noon, I'm taking James Madison -6 against Virginia and the over.
Classic.
Poor Virginia, man.
I was looking at that.
Poor Virginia. They're 6-point dogs at home against James Madison. I mean, you just look at that and you're like, this could be the worst Power 5 team in the country. They're going to be so bad. And they're 6-point dogs for a reason. And James Madison's usually pretty good.
Yeah. Last few years, yeah.
Yeah, they have been. So, yeah, I'm all over James Madison here. Big time all over James Madison. And the over, too. And I think that's it. It's Purdue Vatek. I was looking at that one, too. But
what are you leaning?
I don't know. I was leaning Purdue +2.5.
Put it on my card.
Yeah. I'm going Purdue 2.5. I don't know, man. I still can't buy Vatek until they do something. I just
put it on my card. Purdue killed it last week. I loved watching Purdue last week. Everything's a reaction to last week because that's what college football is for me. I just react to last week. We'll see what happens. I know what I saw. I watched the actual games. I like Purdue. Give me Purdue. All right. I'll start us off with the 3 o'clocks here, and I don't have to look far. It's the best quarterback in football that nobody's talking about. My boy, Michael Pratt, Tulane. The green wave is still alive, baby. +7.5 is disrespectful. I don't care. Anybody says, dude, it is disrespectful. Ole Miss, I don't care. SEC, don't care. Tulane +7 and the hook is. Michael Pratt should be laughing at that every day. I'm sprinkling on this money line. I love Tulane. I don't care what conference Ole Miss is from. Ole Miss is gonna Ole Miss it up. I love Tulane. Greg, you're nodding with me.
Always overrated. Ole Miss is always overrated. I'm with you 100%.
Let's go.
I'm with you too, man. I'm a green wave guy. Always have been. Always will be. You think the line is disrespectful? 7.5. Wait till you hear how much money is on Ole Miss. 90% of the money is on Ole Miss.
Fuck Ole Miss.
To your
Fuck
point,
Ole
I love
Miss,
a little
man.
sprinkle here on the money line. Give me the green wave every time.
I got a Tulane shirt. I love Tulane.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tulane shirt right
I got
here.
them. I got them in conference parlays. Put another one in
Love
today. I think it was them, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and K-State maybe. It's like plus 1,000. Love it. Love it. Can't get enough of it.
Conference parlays. So.
Oh no, Florida State. I'm sorry, but it was Florida State because Clemson's done.
Yeah, they're still plus 100. This is the last time they're gonna be. Plus
it was
100.
like plus 120 or something like that today. So yeah, I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be like minus 200.
Florida State's still plus money.
A little
To win
bit,
the
yeah.
ACC?
Yeah, to win the
Wow.
ACC, yeah.
But Clemson's plus 500. No one even close.
Yeah, I have them at one parlay at like plus 150 or plus 175. Like that ticket's dead. So I had to get a new one in.
All right.
I'm with you.
Greg, give me a 3.
UTEP minus 1.5 over
Wow,
Northwestern. And I'm
right.
betting against Northwestern every single week.
I like
UTEP's
it.
cool. Don't mind them. No pun intended, but love Northwestern. Love betting against Northwestern, I should say. They look terrible against Rutgers. Rutgers was an easy bet last week on was it Saturday or Sunday morning?
That was a Sunday game.
Yeah, Sunday morning, early game. Easy bet. I don't think Rutgers is very good. I don't know if that's breaking news or not, but
They
just handled Northwestern.
Breaking news this week. They're favorites again.
Yeah, so yeah, give me UTEP minus 1.5.
Rutgers? Are they playing like Wagner this week or something?
No.
I don't know who they're playing, actually. But Temple. I remember going on the Game
Temple,
Time
they're minus
app.
8.5.
Oh, Temple. I went on the Game Time app to look at Rutgers Northwestern tickets because they were playing on Sunday. There was no games on, and you could get tickets for like $6 the day of the game. It was like,
crazy.
Like, yeah, you can go.
I had people sending me to try to get me tickets for Rutgers Northwestern last week. I couldn't do it.
No, I think Ohio State is there this year. I think they'll sell tickets for that one, but
I mean,
yeah,
you better have something planned for the second half there. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Chip, give me 3:00.
For the same kind of reason Greg is taking UTEP, I'm taking Iowa minus 3.5 against Iowa State. I'm not the biggest Iowa guy, but I think Iowa State is a disaster of a program. Like, they're done with all the gambling stuff going on. Their quarterback is suspended. He's probably going to lose his eligibility. They played Northern Iowa last week. They got outgained by Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
They scored 30 points, but it was not an impressive 30 points.
They're not going to score at all versus Iowa.
No. And I'm thinking about the under. I'm like, I'm not trying to get greedy because everybody bets the under in Iowa State.
What's the Iowa State team under?
That's a good question. I may have to just take that. But I'm definitely taking Iowa spread. And I know Iowa did what Iowa does. They came out and they scored on like the first play of the season, the first drive of the season. First two drives. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they got back to being Iowa.
That's the only thing that scares me about the pick. That's why I ended up staying away, Chip, because I was watching some of that game and just to come out hot, first passing touchdown to start a season, and since 1999, I think was the stat. And then to come back and do it a second time, I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, this Iowa offense is improved, and then just not be able to do it, not to be able to score a touchdown. I don't mind a passing touchdown, a touchdown the rest of the game.
Yeah, right? It could be like, I think it could be like 9-3 the game, or 14-6 or something. But I don't know. I don't think Iowa State. I'd be surprised if they scored more than a touchdown.
Yeah, hand up. I didn't watch Iowa State last week, but I was scoreboard watching because I agree with you. Like, I think they're going to be terrible, but then I saw they score 30 points, so I was like, oh, maybe they're not as bad. Granted, they played an inferior opponent, so I'm waiting one more week on Iowa State. I'll see how this game shakes out, and then I'll hop on next week.
Iowa State team totals 15.5. I like that under. I don't see them scoring 3 touchdowns. Or 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
That is weird that's that high. I'm taking that under too. I'm adding that. Iowa State team total under.
Wow.
15.5. I like that.
I
too.
think I don't get that at all. I think that's a great play.
Iowa's
They're
is so
bad.
high.
They're
20.5.
bad.
Since when, bro?
They
Since when,
expect
Iowa?
Iowa to score that many, huh?
And the under, by the way, is minus 102. Like 15.5 is minus 102. It's not even the full vig. It's very interesting.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird.
So we'll see.
That's weird.
Greg, you have another 3 o'clock for us?
Yeah, it's my last 3 o'clock pick. It's Texas A&M Miami over. I feel like this is a little bit of a sucker bet, but I did it last week with like LSU and Florida State. Don't really have a play on a side, so I'm just taking the over. I think Miami maybe looked a little bit better than people expected last week. Granted, it was against Miami of Ohio. I think Texas A&M looked okay last week, so could be a sucker play. They could have just been when they go against each other, they could score 30 points, but I like over 51 here. Not the craziest number for what's previously been big time programs. These guys need to win. These guys need to turn around. Both programs, I think, had a pretty down year last year. So give me over 51 in this game.
All right. I have no thoughts on that. Chip, you have any words on that game?
I was going to take the under in that one, but I kind of stayed away from that after, not just because of what Greg said, but I don't want to get too cute because I'm going with Miami plus 3.5 because I've been off Texas A&M since before the season, and I'm still not buying the offense after what happened last week. I'm trying to stay away from teams that I don't buy at all. And I'm not completely sold on Miami, but I'm more sold on Miami because I think they have a lot of studs based on like athletes based on what I saw last week. And A&M, I just think, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Like there's something about that team. Maybe it's that I don't want them to win and I'm thinking too much, but I don't know, man. There's something about Miami. You just watch the team and it's different there.
Yep.
All right. For my last 3 o'clock, this is my, if they don't cover, they don't win and they don't cover, they're dead to me pick of the year. My first one for the college slate. I had them winning the conference and they lost to Houston last week. Okay. And now UTSA is playing Texas State. Okay. And they're minus 13.5. They're giving me the 2 touchdown number, which is scary, but I'm taking it anyway. They better cover it. Okay. They played Baylor last week, Texas State, and we saw what happened. All right. Let's UTSA, let's clean it up. If they don't win this game, the conference is done. If they don't cover the spread, I'm never taking them again. So just for me, I have to take them. I'm riding them to the ground. We'll see what happens.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
All right, get us into the 6 o'clocks.
Yeah, you give me UNC minus 18.5 against App State. I think UNC was pretty good last week against South Carolina. Drake May looked okay, and I think he'll get it going against App State a little bit. Was this the one that was just a crazy shootout last season? These two guys play last season, or am I misremembering that?
App State, Carolina?
Yeah.
That was 62-61 last year, yeah.
Yeah. And the reason why UNC is going to cover by 3 touchdowns, I think the UNC defense might be improved. I couldn't tell last week if it was South Carolina offense not being good or if it was the UNC defense looking pretty good. But all the stats during that game were UNC had 11 pressures on the season, or 11 sacks on the season. They have 3 sacks this game. Like, UNC might be figuring out the defensive side of the ball this season. So, yeah, give me UNC minus 18.5 against App State.
Okay. I like that one, but I think I'm going with the over instead because I'm just a sucker for, I guess, what happened last year and for I think it can happen again because I think Drake May is going to put up, maybe 50 points by himself. So I'm taking the over there. And also at 4 o'clock, Arkansas, Kent State. That's one of my best bets. I got Arkansas minus 37.5. They're playing Kent State. I think Kent State could end up being one of the worst teams in the country. We're going to fade Northwestern all year. I'm also going to fade Kent State all year. Take Arkansas here. I know they're favored by a lot of points. I think they'll cover.
I like it.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I mentioned this in the beginning of the pod. I love UCLA. I love more. I think they are going to absolutely wreck teams, especially teams that they're supposed to beat, like San Diego State. It's minus 14 now. The line keeps moving up. I don't care. I love it. I'm taking them first quarter, first half, and full game. I
Wow.
think UCLA is going to crush them.
I like that.
Well,
I don't get. I never liked San Diego State. That they bore me, but I'm on UCLA big time after last week because I was big on Coastal and they impressed the hell out of me, UCLA. So I'm on UCLA for sure. I agree with you. I don't know if I'll take them first quarter, first half, but no, I'm with you on UCLA. I'm adding that UCLA. It's 14.
Now it's 14. Yeah, I have it
Okay.
at 13 and a half, but now it's
Yeah.
14 live.
I'll take UCLA minus 14 for sure.
And speaking on that, you mentioned Coastal Carolina. I'm just gonna throw that in there too. Like Coastal Carolina, they lost to UCLA. That's the other side of it, where they didn't look very impressive. They let us all down. I have them in the conference. This is another one that their line keeps moving up versus Jacksonville State. It was minus 13 and a half. Now it's all the way up to 14 and a half. Don't care. Taking them, and if they lose this one again, the conference bed's done, and I might have to stay away from Coastal Carolina for a little bit. They're on the same list as UTSA for me right now.
yeah, I thought they looked okay last week, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking Coastal minus 14 and a half as well. I think they held their own. I mean, they covered the number. They didn't get the outright win, but
It was close for a while.
yeah, and they were taking shots and they were making plays downfield on UCLA. Like to your point, I think the UCLA quarterback's just good. Like going from DTR to this guy, not really missing too much of a beat. So,
He's better.
yeah. So, I think it was a pretty impressive game for Coastal. Wish they went outright. It was close. But yeah, 14 and a half against Jacksonville State for sure.
Give me another game here, Greg.
I'm going with my best bet, my mortal lock, my five unit hammer. I want to say, GOI, but I'm not going to say EX. It's only week 2. Alabama minus 6.5, minus 7, minus 12 against Texas. Whatever you want to bet it at, you can take it. Texas struggled with Rice last week. Quinn Ewers was limping last week against Rice. Jalen Milroe looks. I don't know if you guys watched the game against Middle Tennessee. I was because I had the under. Dude, he wears nothing. He just comes out with no gloves, no arm braces, no flash, no nothing. He comes out in a basic Alabama uniform, and he is incredible. Like the first quarter, they were running the ball a little bit. He was making a couple passes. Then all of a sudden, he gets his legs under him a little bit, gets a little more comfortable, breaks like a 20-yard touchdown where he was like juking guys, running guys over. Not the biggest guy, like not Anthony Richardson, but can still move. And then in the second quarter, I guess he starts feeling comfortable. Maybe Bama starts feeling comfortable. They start dialing up. He's just throwing 50-yard bombs like it's nothing. Like standing in the pocket, he can run. He showed it in the first quarter. Didn't need to, could stay in the pocket, take his time. Ended up taking a hit, but still threw the ball down the field 50, 60 yards. Easy touchdown. So throwing guys in stride, throwing guys in windows. I think this is a route. Alabama at home. I think they're going to absolutely crush Texas. So, yeah, definitely my best bet.
Me too.
Yeah.
First quarter, first half, full game, all Bama.
Yep, all Bama.
Last week.
I have Bama too, but I'm just surprised to hear you guys
nice
agree with me. I thought you guys were going to take Texas. I was a little worried. I have Bama too.
No, Bama's this is going to be smacked down by Bama. All phases of the game. Chip.
Yep.
Speaking of Texas, I'm not buying Oklahoma. Everyone's all over Oklahoma because they beat a lousy team 73-0 last week. SMU plus 16.
Yes.
Man, I love that so much. I know they're on the road. Yes. Why have we forgotten that Oklahoma sucked last year? Okay? New coach. Yeah. We said this in the pregame. Oklahoma stunk last year. They should not be 16-point favorites. Like SMU plus 16. That was easy for me. I took that right when I saw that. I took that. So yeah, for sure. SMU plus 16. I love that one.
Let me too. Add that to my card, bro.
The real team. Let me see him do it against a real team that isn't Nebraska or Arkansas State. Okay.
Yeah.
Add it to my card. I took Oklahoma Conference last year, so I was all over them preseason, watched them all the time. I can't stand them. I agree with you 100%. Give me SMU, add it to my card. Greg.
Yeah,
Any
my
thoughts?
last 7 o'clock pick here is on my other best bet, my third and final best bet. Oregon minus 6.5 against Texas Tech. Oregon, your guy Bo Nix, they look good last week, obviously, but this is more of a spite pick against Texas Tech. Starting out 17-0 against Wyoming. I have a 6-leg parlay, $25 to win like 1,400, and just absolutely laid an egg and got out-coached, out-worked, out-hustled, out-schemed by Wyoming at Wyoming. I mean, it was absolute embarrassment. I hate Texas Tech. I'll be betting against them.
I agree.
For the foreseeable future. So this is my spike pick of the week, my week 2 spike pick of the week here. Oregon minus 6.5 against Texas Tech.
I absolutely love your slate, Greg. I love this Oregon pick. Minus 6.5. Bo Nix, Bo Nix next week, he's gonna have 7 touchdowns. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, it doesn't matter." This is about an inferior opponent. I can't believe it's minus 6.5 as well.
Yeah, I'll call. I don't know if you could put an exact score in right now, but it's gonna be 65-17 at the end of this game.
Oh wow, I love it. Chip, I know you have some thoughts about this one.
I'm taking Texas Tech.
I don't know. What did you see? Because we're texting during the whole game, right? Like I had Texas Tech first quarter that hit. Right, it's fine. Like I get it with you. Then I had Texas Tech full game. But what did you see in Texas Tech last week that you were like, yeah, like I'm taking them this week. Like I believe in them.
Nothing. Really, nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
No
This is based off last year, and I think last week was a fluke. I do think last week was a fluke. I think they're better than last week. I do think that, and I had them. Okay, hand up. I had a Big 12 exact championship game. You know how FanDuel you could do the Big 12 exact championship predictions. I had them in one of those against Texas. So I thought they were going to be really good. And I still believe they can I know Baylor's. Look, I don't believe in like Baylor's going to bounce back. I think Texas Tech is a good coach and they're going to bounce back and be good. So I got them plus 6.5. I like them going forward. If they lose this game and I look stupid, I wouldn't be surprised. I know Oregon's really good.
Me neither.
And if they weren't at home, I probably wouldn't be doing this, but I don't know. I like the fact that they're at home too. So we'll see. That was an embarrassing loss, but
it's so bad.
Do they have alternate lines in college? Can you bet alternate line parlays?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. All right.
Check
out Winning Picks Weekly on Saturday. If I have a hot Thursday night here and a hot Saturday morning, we're gonna be dipping into the alternate line parlays.
Okay.
Colorado minus 9.5, Bama minus 20.5, Oregon minus
34.5.
Oregon is not gonna win by 35.
All right.
It's very possible, actually. It's very possible.
Oh my God.
So bad, and Oregon's so good. All right.
All right.
Tim, give us a game.
Okay, I got my other 2 best bets. I think Boise is a 6 o'clock game, actually. Technically, Boise plus 3.5. And then I think Pitt minus 7 against Cincy is a 7 o'clock game.
Talk to me about Boise, though, because I have them winning the conference, and they scared me last week.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. They didn't look strong.
So
I think they'll bounce back
on Boise,
in the first half, and then I think Washington just got together.
Yeah, they did. I thought they were going to win that game.
Yeah,
I did. I thought they were going to. And Boise was really good last year. I think the coach won Coach of the Year in the Mountain West. I was looking at them today. I was preparing for this, and they bounced back because they've been bad for a while, surprisingly bad. And yeah, I bet them to win the conference this year too, like you did. I think they're good. I'm not a big UCF fan. I don't buy them going into the Big 12. That's why I'm betting Pitt too. This is Cincinnati's first big test without Luke Fickell going into Pitt. I think Pitt's going to cover that number 7 pretty easily. Pitt's really well coached. Narduzzi, since he has a rookie head coach, I think that's going to be a tough one for them. But yeah, Boise, I think I'll probably sprinkle money some money on the money line for that one.
That.
I think I think Boise could win that game. Also, I mean, Gus Malzahn, going back to Auburn, he has a history of winning games that he is not, of losing games that he is not supposed to lose. And this is a letdown spot for him. Obviously, Boise is a good team, but he's headed into the Big 12. It's a big spot, possible look ahead game here with Boise. And Boise is not the kind of team you want to do that to. Playing at Boise, this is their home opener, by the way. They're going to sell out on the blue turf. I mean, I got to take Boise here.
Love that. Add to
I
my
love that
card.
too.
I'm not that on Boise yet, even though I do have them a couple parlays and they scared the
God,
crap out of me.
I
last
wanted
week.
them against
Yeah.
Washington. I wanted them so much against Washington, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Penix is amazing.
tell us about Pitt.
I like Pitt a lot this year, and I don't want to like Pitt because, so it says a lot because I don't like their coach. I don't like Narduzzi. I think Jerkovich is really good. He was really good at Boston College, and the offensive line sucked. And they had one receiver there who's in the NFL now, Flowers. And he got the hell out of there as fast as he could, which was the smart move because Boston College is a disaster now. But Pitt always has good players on offense. They always have a good offensive line. They always have solid running back. I think they're going to be okay. Probably, like usual, win 8 or 9 games. And they're certainly going to be better than Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's going to be bad. And like I said, I think Cincinnati going into Pitt, this is their first test. It's not a Big 12 game, but I don't know if it's another look ahead spot like it is for UCF, but I don't know. I guess this is more of a fade Cincy pick. I think they're going to be very bad. Maybe this is, again, I'm just so high. I'm just such a Luke Fickell guy. I think that Cincinnati's really going to drop off after losing Luke Fickell. And their quarterback is Emory Jones, and he was so bad at Florida.
I was surprised to see that last week.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. They have this guy was terrible at Florida. And yeah, I think they're going to be very bad. Maybe not necessarily forever, but I think they're going to be bad in the short term.
All right, John, you got anything else in the 7 o'clock window?
Yeah, one more.
All right.
The team I discovered hand up last week. I never heard of them before last week. Last week, watched them versus BYU. They were plus 20.5. It was 7-0 the entire game until the fourth quarter. They lost 14-0. Crazy calls all over the field. The coach was going absolutely nuts. Reviews and even the announcers had a turnover wrong. It was a mess. I love Sam Houston this week. I know they're playing Air Force. I know that offends Chip when you bet against Army, Navy, or Air Force. It's okay.
It does.
It's all right. I'm going to offend you today. I'm taking Sam Houston plus 14. That's Greg, your picks would have all been part of my best bets here. And if you listen to Winning Picks Weekly, especially the NFL, we have the hold your nose. Sam Houston's a hold your nose pick. Just hold your nose, take the plus 14, and enjoy that cover versus Air Force. They're going to get on the map next week. Be Air Force, Sam Houston's on the map. I'm ready. I'm ready for the money line. I think they're going to beat them, but that's neither here nor there. I just like them plus 14. Maybe the under. And the NFL has officially started. Wow. What a day. All right. Any more games for the week 2 card, guys?
I got Oklahoma State at the 10:30 window against Arizona State. I think just Mike Gundy, the boys, they looked okay last week. I don't know what to expect from Arizona State. I don't expect too much from Arizona State. Could be wrong thinking that, but 3 just seemed like a low number to me. So give me Oklahoma State in that one, -3 at Arizona State.
I got the over in that one. And way too many people thinking that Stanford is going to hang with USC. Yeah, so I got USC -29. I think they're going to blow them out.
I just have such a tough time with USC right now with that defense. It just
I know.
That's how it always is, dude. It's crazy.
Lincoln Riley's defenses stink. And I can't quit Wisconsin. Wisconsin -6 against Wazoo.
They better pick it up, dude.
I know. I think they'll bounce back after last week. I do.
Yeah, late. UAlbany versus Hawaii. I don't have a line yet on it, but I watched a little bit of the
Hawaii.
Albany game. Yeah, I watched a little bit of the Albany game last week on ESPN Plus. Yeah, so I don't know what the line's going to be, but I'll be taking Albany. Not sure about the total yet. Hawaii, I think I bet them week 0, and I think I might even bet them last week. They just don't look good. So usually
don't.
I feel like a Hawaii
It happened in a
take the
couple of years,
over.
by the way.
Yeah.
It was a huge rebuild. Huge rebuild. They were so bad when Shank took over. Oh my god.
The only thing
Yeah,
with you,
so-
Albany, Greg, is the head coach isn't flying with them because he's sick. So
Yeah. It could be tough. So maybe take the under then. Maybe it's like I said, I don't know what the line's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be 4. I don't know if it's going to be 14. So we'll see when that comes out. Maybe it's just take the under and throw the game on and hope for some defense. But midnight tip-off on Saturday going into college football Sunday or NFL Sunday. It's going to be incredible. So might as well bet a little something on something.
all right, that's fair. Last game, shout out to Trent Dilfer and UAB. I'm taking them this week plus 7.5 versus Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern stinks every year. So 7.5, give me UAB. Let's see what Trent Dilfer has. And that's just the solidarity bet. So my solidarity bet of the day. Let's see what UAB got. I did not even watch them last week. I just scoreboard watched. So let's see. I'm with UAB.
Nice.
Anything else?
Nothing.
All right.
Got to take a MAC team. Ohio plus 3.5 against FAU.
All right, fair enough.
Nice.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you for hanging with us for the college week 2 episode. Knicks coming, Jets coming, etc. period YouTube. We're on the Winning Picks Weekly playlist. There's a Jets playlist there as well right now. Preview for every week and rapid reaction for every game. We also have the NFL full slate on Winning Picks Weekly. Check us out on Twitter at Winning P Weekly at Chip Murphy 7. That's it for me. Anything else, boys?
No, roll Tide.
Another good week. Yeah, roll.
All
I
right.
can't believe I'm roll Tide.
I guess. Yeah, roll Tide and NFL's back. Let's go.
Roll Tide and go Texas Tech.
Oh.
Texas Tech's gonna get rolled. It's gonna be bad.